Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hawk Eddie here. Um, yes, I would like to talk about the world of work and things like that. Well, when I was younger, I worked for Abbey Road McDonald's in Nuneaton. So I must have been about 19, I think, and it was Abbey Road Nuneaton McDonald's. And if people know Nuneaton, if people know Nuneaton, it was the Abbey Road McDonald's over the road from the cosmetic shop, I think it is, or I think it's um what's it called? I think it might be um it's right next to the Rope Walk. You've got the McDonald's. Woolworths used to be next to it on Abbey Road in Nuneaton. And it used to be, well, the McDonald's is still there. Um, but now I do YouTube videos. Which is quite cool as well. But yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite thingy. But yeah, when I worked for McDonald's, I was in the back on the grill. Um, you always had to make sure that your grill was clean and things like that, because if you didn't, you had a standard. You had standards that you had to keep to. Um, and as part of when I worked at McDonald's, my nails had to be clean, tidy, cut properly, because it wasn't just you had to have your food hygiene and things like that. It wasn't just like putting burgers on a grill, and things like that. Basically, I remember that I had to wear these blue gloves. There was the what's it gloves, and it was annoying because they used to always make your hands itch. Those latex gloves, so you know they used to make your hands itch, and they used to basically. It was annoying. Point blank, it was annoying. And sometimes like, when, I never went to a Christmas do or a Christmas works do or anything like that because I was never invited. But I still worked there. I still dedicated my time. I still made the effort to get up, to go to work, to do this, to do that, and it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best job. It was a dead end job. It wasn't easy. The hours was annoying. Sometimes I used to do the graveyard shift, and the graveyard shift is known where people never used to really want to get rotated for it. And the weekends was the worst, because sometimes you get some people that would come in and try and basically, try and give you they had gone to the pubs, or they had gone, and then came into McDonald's, and they would try to get money. They would try and say that they had um gave like £20 when they had only give you a tenner. And basically, there was one day I was on till, and the customer came in, ordered a Big Mac meal, ordered other meal, other things, and it came to £8.10, shall we say. And this customer tried to say to me that that he had gave me £20. No, he hadn't. He had gave me £10. Now, I basically had the £10 in my hand. So I had the £10 in my hand from typing into the till. Now, the till was a touch screen till. So you'd go like that, and you'd go like that, and yeah, you get the gist. Anyway, basically, I rung it up on the till, showing him his order, and I had still got the £10 in my hand, because I was holding the £10 like that. Anyway, I've turned round to the person behind the till, like I was behind the till, so I turned round to the customer, and I says to the customer, I says, "Excuse me, sir." He said, "I've never been called sir." I was like, "Oh, good customer services, you know." Anyway, I says to him, I says, "Excuse me, sir." He says, "Yeah." I says, "Are you trying to get change for £20?" He says, "No." I says, "Well, at the end of the day, my mate," he goes, "Yeah." I goes, "You've only gave me £10. He says, "No, I gave you £20. I says, "No, you haven't." Now, I were getting quite wound up myself, because he was chancing it. He was chancing trying to get money. Anyway, cut a long story short, the geezer has turned round trying to say that he'd give me £20. So I stood my ground. I stood my guns. I literally, that's it. So I turned round to this geezer in front of everyone at McDonald's, customers, staff, everything. I turned round and I held this £10 note up, held it up like that. I had got a £10 note in my hand. And I said, this customer is trying to say to me that he had actually paid with £20. And I said, no, this is the amount that he gave me. So I held the £10 up. And I said to the customer, I says, this is the £10 that you gave me. He went, yes, I gave you 10. I says, so you are trying to get money, trying to make out that you had gave me 20 when you had only gave me 10. And this geezer just picked up his food and walked off with it. And that was because the geezer was very embarrassed. And I mean very embarrassed. So next time you want to try and raise for money, don't. Because you will always get found out. And you will always get exposed. Now that's the thing as well. Can people tell me how long YouTube has been running and what its original name was called? If you don't know, then look it up. What year YouTube was founded? What was its original name? Because it wasn't called YouTube originally. It wasn't called YouTube originally. I'm not going to tell you what it's called. Now, sometimes we need to see the light with a lot of things in life. Good old Obersoil. My granddad used to swear by it. I still do. And it isn't just used for colds. It is used to clean and to open your airways. I remember my granddad used to have a little bottle of Obersoil, or the Obersoil tissues, and he used to always buy a packet of them. And I used to say to him, I used to be like, Grandad, why have you got the Obersoil tissues? He went, well, when I blow my nose, it opens it, doesn't it? I went, hmm. And he gave me an Obersoil tissue. He says, blow your nose. So I literally blowed my nose. I was about 20, I think, at the time. And my granddad started laughing at me. So I looked at my granddad. I said, Granddad, what are you laughing at? He went, told you I was right. I just looked at him and I went, why? He goes, has it opened your airways? Now at the time, there was a chewing gum called Airways. And I used to swear by that chewing gum. I used to always buy it. Airwaves chewing gum. And I was forever chewing gum. And it was either Wrigley's, Extra, or Airways. And I turned round to my granddad. I said, all you need is a packet of Airways. And he went, that's chewing gum, isn't it? I went, yeah. He goes, no, all you need is a packet of Obersoil tissues. So my granddad gave me a little packet of these Obersoil tissues. He says, keep them in your pocket. Now, the funny thing was, my granddad used to have a little cotton. Granddad Salt used to have a cotton hanky, cotton hanky like. But he always used to have a little bottle of Obersoil. He used to always have a little bottle of Obersoil. So he used to go like that with the Obersoil on the hanky and put it back in his pocket, fold it up and put it back in his pocket. Now I said to him once, I said, Grandad, do you know when you put the Obersoil on your hanky? He said, yeah. I said, doesn't it get on your trousers? He says, only if you saturate it. And I laughed and I went, so you tip the oil on your hanky? And he went, yeah. I went, so then I said to it, like, do this one day. I've bought some toilet rolls that was fragranced. So I had had the flu and I weren't very well. I was quite poorly with the flu. Anyway, I've put the tissue to my nose. And I'm sneezing into it and stuff like that. And it was so funny because I just sneezed and I went like that. And I literally said, Eureka. And I just went, what? I was like, Eureka. And I said to my granddad, I said, Granddad, do you know how you fragrance your tissue? And he went, yeah. I went, so do you buy fragrance tissues? He went, no. All I need is my Uber soil. All right, cut. Uber soil, it's good for you. Sorts a lot out. Helps with vocal cords, helps with a lot of things. You know, if we sing, like there's a lot of musicians that will use this or the oil burners that it opens your airways, and they sit there with an oil burner, which I used to have to rely on as a child. Vicks inhaler. No, I haven't sorted my phone. I've got more things to sort and things like that. And no, I've not got a cold. No, I've not got corona. No, I've not got flu. It's called opening my airways, so I can breathe day to day. So yeah, we have to blow our noses, do this, do that, day to day. It's quite funny. We we literally take advantage of the amount of times that we blow our noses every day. So there's a lot of actors, actresses, singers, songwriters that have to rely on the Vicks Vapor Rub, you know, that have to open their airways, have to open their vocal cords, because if they don't, they can't hit the high notes. They can't do this, do that. They can't get the um, you know, things like that. Air diffusers. Gets rid of a lot of things. Humidifiers. And yeah, because I rely on my cellular device to actually be online, to actually do things, to make calls, to make texts, to do all these things, you know, we we have to pay our phone bills, you know, we have to do this, we have to do that. Unless we're sponsored from people. Now, part of being a sponsor, they sponsor that person or that product. It's like Nomad sponsor guitarists because they use the oils for the fretboards to play better, to sound better, blah, blah, blah. You know, now we all go to the ear, nose, and mouth hospitals. We all go to the doctors to check our health. We all go to the doctors for prescriptions for our medication. Now, sometimes it's about time that people should stop slandering people. Because how can I be in a million places all at once? How can I do this, do that when I'm sat at home live? We all slug things out, slug subscribers, slug, targets. We all have a target to make. Yes, I have vitamin D deficiency. So that means that I will look pale. Doesn't mean I'm on anything. It just means that my vitamin deficiency levels are not high. So I look very pale, a pale complexion. Just means the levels of vitamin D is not right in my body. For some reason, my vitamin D levels are not right. My iron levels are not right. Might mean I'm ill. I don't know. But every time I register at doctors, the doctors come up to me and they go, sorry, your medical notes are not actually there. How can I erase my own medical notes? I can't. We all have stress and worries. We all have things in life that are challenging. But the thing is, we all do things because we like to do them. For example, we game. For example, we do montages of Fortnite, of Call of Duty, of different types of games. We all like a certain game. We copy characters of that game. Now I am getting Fortnite withdrawal. But if you noticed the other day, I did a stream of FIFA of my created player. Now, my created player on my FIFA, his hair is how I would like mine done. But I have to grow it long enough to have it. And not only that, I have to have the money to have to do it. Yes, I have worked in my life, but the thing is, I haven't got 100% health no more, which is horrible. Knowing that I haven't got the health anymore to do a 9 to 5 job, a day-to-day job. People just look and take someone at face value. They don't know their health reasons, health issues. They don't know that, what's it? It's like, I've been in the scouts, I've been in adventures, I've been in um, cadets, things like that. And it's all about your posture. It's about presenting yourself well, presentation, presentation. You know, you present to somebody a project, and you, for example, you don't do well in that project because you didn't put the presentation into it. Sorry, I just heard a noise and I just wondered what it was. I was just going to I went and investigated what it was, but I couldn't find what it was. But, you know, for example, people do art. I did art when I was younger, and arts and crafts. It's a very good thing to get into. Um, it's creating. You create things in life. When you create something, like, for example, my mum does cards, you know, birthday cards, Christmas cards, um, any type of celebration cards, she does them. And at the end of the day, when she looks at that card that she's made and she's finished the project and the card and stuff like that, and it looks good, then she feels good. She feels self good, you know, self created, things like that. Now, we all we all go through low moods. We all go through things in life that aren't so easy. You know, there's a lot of things that we have been through that isn't easy, and they're personal. But the thing is, we all, no matter where you come from, we all have that self belief, that self promotion, that self thing. Some people work from home. Some people do lives to get the subscribers, to get the viewers, to get loads of people, to get a community of gamers, to make a company, to do all these things to get the best life that they deserve. Not the worst life that they deserve. Cup of coffee? Yes, please, thank you. Sadly, I've got no milk though. It's like that old saying, there's not enough hours in the day for things. But that's what I mean. There isn't that. There isn't enough hours in the day. But like, when somebody reports a problem or a repair, you know, or things like that, they all have to say, look, this is what's wrong. And they all feel like crap. And some people are qualified and some people are not qualified. But the thing is, you're qualified with experience. We all have life experiences. And I'll leave you with that final note, final thought. It's like, for example, I've had some people where subscribed and then unsubscribed. Now, they're not supporting me in the way that I want them to. So they just think, oh, I'll subscribe, but then they slag me off and then they think, oh, I'm unsubscribing to that person. Because at the end of the day, what you forget is we are still people. So when you subscribe to a channel, you subscribe that person. You support. That is why it is called a subscriber. It's another word for support. You support to the channel or the project. And in the words of Porky Pig, piss off, Lou. So if you don't want to subscribe, then you don't have to. But all I'm saying is piss off. Because don't bring me down. And yeah, my father, Carl Edward Housden, has had a lot of demons in his life. But he's still my father. And he's still my dad. Which I love dearly. You know, I love my dad to this ends of this earth. I love my stepmom. I love a lot of people. Do they love me? Truly. So let's all reach out to our families, to our friends. And let's not judge no more. Let's support people. I have a permanent deformity to my little finger because I stupidly cut through 3 tendons. But at the time, I didn't really think about it. But now I have the deformity on my right hand. And that was because of self-harm. That was because of a lot of reasons. That was due to a hell of a lot of things. And it was me. Well, it was my tendons and my finger that was put um, that was permanently damaged. Which caused my deformity. Permanently. Am I embarrassed about it? Yes, I am. Have I eaten today? Yes, I had some rice. I'll tell you what I have got though. Some cereal with Rice Krispies. Snap, crackle, and pop. It's like, for example, when when you was a child and you used to put your Rice Krispies in a bowl and you used to put your milk in, how many people, adults, children, how many people can say that they used to sit there and listen to the snap, crackle, and pop of the Rice Krispies? But when I was younger, when I was a child, I used to sit there and listen to the snap, crackle, and pop. And I used to think, how is it doing that? And all it was the liquid getting to the rice and it was making it crackle. So I didn't know what it was and how it was doing it. But I always used to sit there and listen to the snap, crackle, and pop. Quite funny, isn't it? My favourite band is Green Day. Whenever things get me down, I put my Green Day on and I listen. There's a lot of other fans in this world that are Green Day fans, that are all different bands, fans of the band. For example, my friend Wayne Dorman, he's the lead guitarist of Onslaught. Now, I knew Wayne before he was a famous lead guitarist. And me and Wayne, funny enough, met at North Warwickshire and Hinckley College. But now the college has changed its name to North Warwickshire and Leicester College. But it's still the same building, it's still the same college. And that's in Nuneaton. Now, I was doing music studies. I was doing music technology. I was doing music technology at the time. And I went into to North Warwickshire and Hinckley College, which was then North Warwickshire and Hinckley College, but now it's North Warwickshire and Leicester College. But it's still the same college, it's still the same place. It just changed its name. And my hair is doing my head in as well. Bad hair day, I think. And basically, I was sat there in the canteen of Nuneaton College, and Wayne was sat there in the canteen, but Wayne was doing a different course to me. But I can't remember what course Wayne was doing. Anyway, I've looked over. I've literally looked over, and Wayne sat there. At the time, Wayne Dorman was a very, very, not skinny, but he was very, what's it, and he was very shy. And I've walked over to him, and we got chatting. And we got chatting, and I asked him if he played an instrument, if he played, if he played an instrument. And he says, "Oh, funny enough, I play guitar." So I says to Wayne, I says, "Oh, so do I." I says, "What course you doing, mate?" And he told me what course it was, but I've forgotten what course it was at the time. So anyway, Wayne came to me. He says, "What course are you doing, mate?" I said, "Oh, I'm doing music technology." And that's when I first discovered an ADAT. And I was like, cool, 8-track, this was like, wow, and the music technology I was doing, I had to do a CD, and I did the Oasis song, well, the instrumental of, well, it was only the guitar, so it was only me playing the guitar. So I did Oasis Wonderwall, but I did the intro of Oasis Wonderwall. So I did a little bit I did a recording of it. Now I think my dad's still got a CD of it. So on doing the course, and part of the examination on the course was we had to put the CD together. So we had to record it. Now, I did me playing the guitar. So I did a little bit of Wonderwall. And then I got sick of playing Wonderwall. So then I started jamming in the recording. So I started jamming with myself. So, I started like playing different ways and stuff. Anyway, I didn't finish the course because I struggled with a lot of the work, with the music technology, with a lot of other stuff. But I learned to record. So the studio was brilliant. It was a brilliant studio at Nuneaton, North Yorkshire and Hinkley. Brilliant studio. You had this room with all these faders, and it was brilliant. And the what's it technology, the latest technology at the time was there, and I enjoyed it. But I cannot remember for the life of me the name of my tutor on music technology. And I was studying it and so on. And I met a brilliant friend, a man called Wayne Dorman, the lead guitarist of Onslaught. A gentleman, a legend, and a scholar, and an amazing guitarist. Because there was one day Wayne came to my mum's, and me and Wayne were jamming because we both played guitar. So Wayne bought his amp and bought his guitar, and I had my amp and my guitar and my pedals and stuff like that, and my effects. So we're there, we're playing away and we're jamming. Now I said to Wayne, I said, look, I want to learn a song. Wayne says, okay, mate, what do you want to learn? Now, if we all remember the song Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water, Wayne taught me Smoke on the Water. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, Deep Purple. So we're there, and I've got my guitar in my hand, and and Wayne's saying, right, these are the chords, this is chord sequence, this is the riff, bum bum. Now, Wayne used to nickname me Basil Brush because I used to go boom boom, nailed it. So Wayne used to nickname me Basil Brush because I used to just go boom boom. Alright. So he turned around and I was trying to do the intro. Excuse me. I was trying to do the intro to Smoke on the Water. And every time I was trying to do it, I would either get the riff wrong or I'd get it wrong. So I'd get frustrated, and I'd get really, really frustrated, really fed up, really pissed off. And Wayne could see that. So instead of Wayne packing up his guitar, he didn't. He sat there and he taught me a certain way of remembering Smoke on the Water. And we've sat there and we've played and played and played. And then this one day, I'm there, and I've said to myself, I said, "Come on, Eddie, come on, Hulk Eddie, you've got to get it now." So I'm there, and I looked at Wayne, and I said to Wayne, I says, we're gonna nail this. We're gonna do it. Now, bear in mind, I must have been about, how old must I have been? Probably 17, something like that. Now, I know that I'm older than Wayne, a lot older. And all of a sudden, I've just plucked the I've got my plectrum, plucked the string, and I've had this it was like the feeling that I had, it was like I had an out of body experience. Anyway, I'm there like that. And I'm thinking that I'm not playing it well. And I'm thinking I'm not, I'm not doing it well, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Wayne's turned around with there like, and all this stuff, right? So I'm literally, smoke on the water, like that, yeah? So then, Wayne's turned around to me, and there was a jam night at the Nag's Head, which was a pub in Nuneaton. Now, it's not the Nag's Head no more. I can't remember what it is now because I haven't been to Nuneaton for a lot of years. Anyway, Wayne says to me, I went to the jam night, and Wayne put me on the spot, the little bugger. Puts me on the spot and turns around and says to the person at the jam night, me and Eddie are going to play Smoke on the Water. So Wayne's turned around and says, yeah, I've sorted out. It was an open mic night. So it was open mic and it was jam night. So Wayne's turned around and said to me, make sure your guitar's in tune. And that's all he said. Make sure your guitar's in tune. I'm like, all right, then, mate. So I'm there tuning my guitar at the jam night, tuning it up. And I'm there like warming up, warming my fingers, just diddly 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 like that. So I'm literally doing this without plugging in, just going like that. So Wayne's turned around, just came up to me. He says, is your guitar in tune? I says, yeah. So all of a sudden, he wouldn't tell me the song that we was playing. He says, at the end of the day, the people that are gonna play this song is me, you, Aid, I think his name were, and he played bass. Then there was a drummer. I think that might have been Phil Rickard. I think it might have been, or it might have been somebody else, but I can't remember who it was that was on the drums. So all of a sudden, the persons said, right, we've got Phil, no, we've got Eddie, we've got Wayne, and we've got other people as well. So I've got on stage with my guitar, and as I plugged it in, my jack's gone. Well, not my jack, but the actual thingy. So all of a sudden, it's just gone like that. So it's gone in, and then I've looked at Wayne, not knowing what song I'm playing. So I've looked over at Wayne, and I'm like, Wayne, what we playing, dude? Is like, it was 2 seconds that I found out what song we was playing, and it was Smoke on the Water. So Wayne goes, Smoke on the Water. I'm like, Wayne, I only learnt that the other day. He went, well, when you've played it, I've heard, I heard you play it, you played it well. So I'm there like, like that, yeah? Me and Wayne, someone had to sing. Now, I didn't know the lyrics of it. So I think Wayne sang, I think he sang it, or I think someone else did. But I'm there playing away, and I starts to get really, really nervous. And it was funny because what I did was I unplugged my guitar and I walked off stage because I got that nervous. So I literally walked off stage. Wayne's come up to me. He's like, what's wrong, dude? I'm like, I've got stage fright. He went, really? I'm like, yeah, I suffer with stage fright. He turned around to me and he went, it's normal. We all suffer with stage fright. And I said to him, I says, I wouldn't think with you that you do. And he went, that's where you're wrong. So I basically said to him, I says, you're amazing. You're an amazing guitarist. He said, yeah, so are you. I went, no, I'm not. He goes, can you play a riff? I went, yeah, not very well though. He went, that's the problem with you. I says, boy, what is it? He went, you've never had the self-belief that you're a good guitarist. And I went, uh-uh. Now that's the thing. My mate has played so many arenas, so many stadiums, so many things. But I wonder whether before he plugs in what goes through his head, whenever he plays his first gig or the gig, I wonder if I go through his head. Because he is an amazing person to know. And he's one of the nicest people that you can ever meet. Now, Wayne Dorman is a legend. And he's my mate. Onslaught. Now, Wayne has to do a lot of promotions with his band Onslaught and a lot of interviews for like Metal Hammer, you know, Krang, this, that, and the other. Alright? And sometimes the interviewer always asks about the album, the band, what's it? But they never ask the band members about who they know or about who they're friends with. Now, yeah, I am into my punk, into my metal, into my new metal, into a lot of different music genres. If the music sounds good and it has a beat, I like it. But if it doesn't, then I don't like it. But, for example, my mate has played Bloodstock He's played Download. He's played festivals over other countries. He's played all different types of festivals. And yes, he's probably got drunk after the festival and, after the gig and stuff like that. Life's there to be lived, to celebrate life. But at the end of the day, it's a known fact. Money changes people. Money does change people. Memories will always remember. You could have loads of zeros on your bank, on the bank account. But as long as you have good memories of people, you will always have a good life. And Wayne, how he makes his money is his hands and his guitar. And his bandmates. As a band, you're either a brotherhood of men or a brotherhood of women, sisterhood. But you have promotion, you have people that promote. You have all these, a team, it's promotion team and stuff like that. Now, yeah, the film that I used to always joke about with Wayne was Wayne's World. And I used to always say to him, party on, Wayne. Party on, dude. Alright? But the thing is, when someone says to me, can you play an instrument? I'm like, yeah, I can play a little. I'm a bit like Garth. A bit like, yeah, I can play a little. I can play guitar. I can play a little bit of drums. I can play bass. I can play keyboard. I can play any instrument that I put my mind to. Now, I would love to own my own bass, because it's like I can play a bass riff. I can play drums, drum loops, things like that. I can play a little bit of stuff. But the thing is, part of being a musician, you have to learn different instruments. Now, do people think that, like, for example, Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour and Corey Taylor, yeah. All right. Corey Taylor has so many different bands, but he looks at them bands as projects. And Corey Taylor does a lot of self-promotion. So Corey does his own projects. He does like his CR projects, CR7 projects and stuff. And there's a YouTube video where it was Corey Taylor in London. Now, not many people know this, but the person that he played guitar on stage was Mickey Seven. He was from Slipknot. Joey Jordison, God rest him, I'm the same height as Joey Jordison, or that Joey Jordison was, but I have got the same handspan as Joey Jordison and as Tutankhamun. Now, I discovered Slipknot when it was the Iowa tour. And my first Slipknot song that I ever listened to was Spit It Out. And there's a lyric in that song that stuck in my mind for a lot of years. And the lyric was, "Where you going to be in the next 5 years?" Yeah. Now, that's what I mean. I was literally listening to that album, the Iowa, and I went and bought it as well. I went and bought the album. As I've put it in my CD player, my brother's gone, "What's that?" I'm like, it's Slipknot. Now, previous to that, I went to Starbucks in Manchester. So I must have been about 19, something like that. Now I was dating a girl called Leanne G. And she worked at McDonald's in the Trafford Centre, the old Trafford Centre. So she was working there. Anyway, she was working. So I've gone to, I've walked around Trafford Centre. And I think Slipknot was in Manchester, was doing a gig at Manchester. So I think it was the Iowa tour. So there was touring in Manchester at that time. So I've gone into Starbucks to get a frappe coffee, I think. Frappe. To get a frappe. So I've stood in the queue. And all of a sudden, I've looked round. Bear in mind, this is Manchester Starbucks. Right, so this is Manchester Starbucks in the Trafford Centre. And my ex-partner, Leanne G, was working. So she was working at McDonald's. So I just wanted a coffee, but I didn't want to go to McDonald's for a coffee. I wanted a frappe. So the only place that did a frappe was Starbucks. So I've gone into Starbucks, queued up. Corey Taylor's behind me. Corey Taylor's behind me, right? So I'm stood there in the queue waiting to order my frappe. And I've got the frappe in my hand, and I've got like the tissue, the straw, and so on. So as I've turned round, as I've paid for my frappe and all this, I've turned round, and Corey Taylor was behind me. So I've like double taked, I've literally got like that. So I looked at Corey, and I'm like, bear in mind, Corey had got his hair long at the time, and it was like proper long. And I've just literally gone, "You're Corey Taylor from Slipknot." He's like, "Yep, I am." I've looked at him, I'm like, "Whoa, dude." So I've shook his hand, and I've said to him, I said, "That lyric in Spit It Out, it's an amazing lyric." Now, Corey told me a story about why he wrote that lyric. And it was about his life. It was about the road that he was at that time. And he was saying it to himself. And I didn't have anything on me for him to sign. And I didn't have a frigging pen either. But shook his hand and I offered to pay for his coffee and his cookie, because he had a cookie. And he went, "No, I'm okay. I'll get it myself." So I said, "Right, okay, Corey, that's fair enough." Now there's a saying that people always say about Corey, and it's, "He's Corey, he's Corey, he's mental, yeah? But he's one of the nicest persons that you can ever meet." And then I literally said to Corey, I said, "See you later, Corey, I must get on, because I'm about to meet my partner on her ex-partner on her lunch break." So Corey says, "Keep rocking, dude." And he went like that to me. He goes, "Keep rocking." And he says, the last thing that Corey said to me was, "Keep rocking, but always look after your health." And I said, "Yeah, I will." And then I went to meet her on her lunch break. And she said to me, she's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, are you?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm alright." I was like, "Right, okay." And then I turned round to her and I says, "You never guess who I've just met." She went, "Who?" I went, "Corey Taylor from Slipknot." She goes, "Have you? Where did you meet him?" I went, "Starbucks." She went, "What, you went into Starbucks without me?" I went, "Yeah, I fancied a frappe." She goes, "Oh, so you go and have a frappe when I'm at work?" I was like, "Yeah." I got to meet Corey. She went, "I'm so jealous." I was like, "All right." But that night, we went out to Gillies Rock World in Manchester, and it's an amazing place. It's an amazing gig venue. Gillies Rock World was amazing. It was an amazing place. And one day I'd like to play there, Gillies Rock World. And basically, we went out that night, and all that stuck in my mind that whole night was that I had met Corey Taylor. And I got chatting to this person in Julie's Rock World. And I says to him, I says, "You never guess who I got to meet earlier?" They went, "Who?" I went, Corey Taylor. They went, no way, dude. I was like, yeah, man. Now, if I hadn't have gone to get that frappe, I wouldn't have met Corey. Everything happens for a reason. Always remember that. You could meet me in person. You could know me in person. But when you value me as a person and as your friend, then that is when I can call you a friend, a family, or a close friend. So all we do is rock on in it.